The howl was the soul of the pack. It was their story, their strength, their bond. It was everything. But one pup was born without a note. Kellen, a vessel of silence in a world of sound. His mother's love was tangled with fear. A silent wolf was an omen, a weakness. He was a ghost among his own brothers. A constant, quiet reminder of something wrong. His father, the alpha, saw not a son, but a liability. A mouth to feed that could not call the hunt. Every day was a fresh failure. A new reminder of the language he could not speak. Loneliness was the only sound he truly came to know. The snows were coming. The pack had to travel light. Hard decisions were made in the cold whispers of the wind. It wasn't a punishment, in the cruel logic of the wild. It was survival. The pack could not carry a silent burden. The silence he was born into now became his entire world. He was utterly, terrifyingly alone. He learned of hunger, he learned of fear, and he learned that without a voice, you could scream and no one would hear. He was ready for the end, to simply fade back into the silence he came from. But he was found by a creature who did not need to see, an ancient badger who had lost his eyes to a predator long ago. The badger didn't hear a silent wolf, he felt a frightened heart. His name was Borin, and he spoke a different language entirely. He began to teach him that the world had another voice, a deeper one, the language of the earth. Borin taught him to stop trying to hear, and to start feeling. He learned to feel the rhythm of a beetle's walk. He learned to distinguish the footfalls of a deer from the heavy tread of a bear. His paws became his ears, the ground became his symphony. The language was not easy. It required a stillness his grief had long fought against. But his teacher was patient. The earth was patient. He grew into a magnificent wolf. Silent, yes, but not voiceless. He could map the forest in his mind through the vibrations in his paws. He was more aware than any wolf who relied on sound alone. He repaid the kindness he was shown. They were a pack of two, a silent wolf and a blind badger. He sometimes wondered where they were, if they had survived. The ache of their rejection had dulled, but never vanished. His pack had found a rich new territory, a valley of plenty, protected by what they thought was a great stone guardian. They were prosperous, they were loud, and they were blind to the danger beneath their feet. It started as a whisper, a deep, discordant note in the earth's song, a tremor so faint, no ear could have caught it. But he felt it, a sickness deep in the bones of the world. It was coming from the north, the place of his memory, the place of his pack. The earth was screaming a warning. The great mountain was not a guardian. It was a dying giant, his old friend knew. It was the language of the landslide, the song of the avalanche. He could stay, he could be safe. He owed them nothing. But the howl of the pack was in his blood. Even if it was not in his throat, he had to go back. He had to try to warn them. He ran towards the family that had cast him out, his paws reading the growing panic of the earth with every step. He saw them, so full of life, so unaware, and the old wound in his heart ached anew. To them, he was a lone wolf, a threat, an invader. They met him not with recognition, but with aggression. They could not hear his warning. How do you tell a warning to those who cannot understand your language? The earth was about to cry out. He had to make them listen. If they would not listen to a voice, perhaps they would listen to a roar of his own making. He used his strength, his weight, his entire being. He gave them a sound they could not ignore. And in that moment of forced silence, they saw their doom. They ran, just as the mountain let out its final, earth-shattering groan and the avalanche began. He had saved them, the silent son, the voiceless brother, the wolf who heard the silence. He was never meant to speak the pack's song. He was born to teach them a new one, the quiet, powerful, and unwavering song of a hero's heart.